Following the IDF strike over the weekend and potential elimination of Mohammed Deif, here to speak with us about the incident and Israel's overall war strategy is Colonel Miri Eisin, a senior fellow at the International Institute for Counter-Terrorism at Reichman University. Colonel Eisin, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll start with the elephant in the room, Mohammed Deif. We've seen the IDF attempt to assassinate him before, unsuccessfully. Today, we saw Hamas officials deny that Deif was harmed at all. What's your take?
He's been the invisible man for so many years. He's been the one that you attack, and then you wonder, and then he lost an eye, and he lost an arm. So I don't know. And so what I'm asking myself is, would Hamas tell us if he is dead? Why would they not tell us? Because it keeps the aura that he's still alive. Why would they not tell us? Because they don't want his own people to understand that we can target and kill him. Do they have an interest in telling us that he's dead? I think not. So I think that we're going to stay in this limbo of not knowing. And what we're going to need to do is to gather hardcore information from our sources that will try to really say he is dead. I mean, he's barely spoken in the last 9 months. We heard his voice on October 7th and literally only once since.
Now, if Deif is indeed dead, as you mentioned, there isn't a whole lot of motivation for Hamas to tell us. What would the ramifications be for such an assassination within Hamas?
He is one of the main leaders, not just in the sense of being a figure, in that sense that he managed to evade his own death so many times. No, he's a figure because he's the one who plans. And I at least very much view the execution of what happened on October 7th, that detailed, horrific genocidal planning, very much Mohammed Deif. And his disappearing, his not being in the arena is a significant act. But that's at the leadership quality. That means of the Hamas's capability to do an October 7th attack. Let's be clear, the individual terrorist will still be inspired by his idea, by his actions over all the years, by the way he managed to evade it for so many years. So they'll continue to do individual attacks. But to do a coordinated October 7th type of attack, I think that very much goes with Mohammed Deif.
Now, whether or not he was assassinated in this strike, do you believe that this strike will have any impact on Hamas's willingness, or perhaps lack thereof, to make a hostage deal? I mean, we already saw that they're claiming they've paused negotiations. Is this a strategic mistake, these strikes that we see the last few days? Is it a strategic mistake on the part of Israel, or a necessary act to show strength against Hamas?
You put both of those on the table, and there is no yes, no, correct, incorrect answer. At the end, it's about policy. I'm one of those who thinks that Hamas should be cornered. Hamas should never feel that they are the ones who are running the show, that they are the ones who define what happens in day-to-day life. There's no question whatsoever that an attack like that does impact perhaps their willingness to be in negotiations with us, but it's not like they wanted to be in negotiations with us in the months before. They haven't exactly been open about it. For them, the hostages, these hostages, our families, our people, our children, our husbands, our fathers and mothers, these hostages for Hamas are only bargaining chips. So they'll blame anything on their lack of willingness to do any kind of exchange, because for Hamas, having them is worthwhile. Not only that, having them dead is worthwhile, not only alive. So I'm very, very wary of saying right now that because of this attack, it could in any way stop a kind of exchange. I want the exchange. We all need it. But I don't believe Hamas, and I think that you need to hound them as much as you can in the military sense so that they never feel safe.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for your insight. Unfortunately, we are out of time for today. But as always, it's a pleasure to have you on. Colonel retired Miri Eisin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.